this is like the probably third or fourth time I've evaluated you, which I think is funny because Chad didn't have any idea when he put us together. I told him last night, I said, I've evaluated Michael like 4 times. And I remember the first few times I evaluated you, I was very, very hard on you. He just kind of smirked. This was your best speech so far. I think you did a fantastic job picking the topic. Great topic. The fact that Noel and I were sitting there talking about it this morning, it is one of my biggest things. I seriously think I wear the badge of worst of the person who remembers the names least. I remember faces just like you said. But giving us some details about how to remember names was great. I was sitting there thinking, you know, when I was back in working at the bank, we went to this conference and there was like 40 of us in a room, and the instructor went around the room and made us introduce ourselves. And she had the goal of remembering every person's name in that group. As a presenter, there is no way I'm ever going to remember people's names, which is part of the reason I like being in charge of the name tags here. It's great for me. I put it on both sides, so if you're sitting next to somebody, you don't have to be like, Jason, nice to meet you. But the fact that you took that a step further and said, remember somebody's name based on a story. And that was what that instructor did with us. She actually had us introduce ourselves and give another word that described us. So, and it couldn't be somebody else's word either. So when it got to me, I was kind Karen, and we had to take it based on that. Whatever the first letter of our name was that. So I think that you taking that story piece and the way you were like using your face as you were rough and you hadn't shaved, you were tired, you had bags under your eyes, that's going to help us remember your name based on those details. And even the pictures you had of giving us a few details about those particular people, I think that will help us as we go through life and remembering people's names. You're right, the name is the most important thing that a person owns. It's their name. It's the one thing you cannot take away from them. And remembering somebody's name means a lot to everybody else. One of the things that you asked me to look for was intentional pauses. You didn't seem like you were rushed in the speech. You did a great job of pausing. It wasn't like a huge pause, it wasn't that disrupting pause, but it was a slower speech, which I think you've done a great job on improving on over the last few times that I've given you an evaluation. You had great eye contact with the group. Everybody was sitting there watching you like this. They were like, please tell me, how am I going to be able to fix my problem of not remembering a name? Michael's going to give me the answer. I think you did a great job with that as well. Your hand gestures were good. They weren't distracting. You did a little bit of this. There was a little bit of rocking, but it wasn't like you were dancing up here or anything, so I think you did a great job with that as well. I liked when you were introducing the different people's names. You gave us the picture. The one thing I would have loved to see is you had your hands like this over the picture. And I know you had some cheat notes behind because I'm guilty of using that same feature. If you ever want to be able to cheat on a speech, use some type of visual aid. You write on the backside in pencil so nobody can see it behind you. But make sure you hold it up and not like this, because that's where some of the pictures where it was like this and I was like, he's cheating! You have to make the cheat not look so quite cheaty. So keep that in mind for next time. But great way to do that as well. Am I after my 2 minutes yet? Evidently not.
Well, I guess you caught me. I forgot to start the timer.
3:58.
I knew she was over.
You're 4:04 now.
Oh, that's not my fault. I'm not kind of broke. Michael, seriously, this was one of the greatest.